Hi, my name is Pat, and this is my channel, Book Chat with Pat, and I'm glad that you're here. Today is Tag Tuesday, and today I'm doing something a little bit unusual for me in that I'm going to combine two tags that I was tagged on recently because they're very related, and I thought that they would go well together for this discussion about how we choose what we're going to read next. So, one of the tags is called the What's Next original tag, which was created by my friend Bob at Robert G. Reader of Books, and I was tagged by Bob on this tag. And the other is Are TBRs Fun or Not? This is an original tag created by Candy at The Great Literary Rabbit Hole, and I was tagged by my friend Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics. And both of these tags deal with how we decide what we're going to read next. And so I thought that I would just do them together. As I usually do, I'm going to tag a bunch of people. Some of you may have done one of these, but not the other. I'm going to put the prompts for both tags in the notes below. So if I tag you and you've done one, but you haven't done the other, consider that. And of course, as always, anybody watching can consider themselves tagged if either one of these tags is something that you would like to do. So Robert's tag first. This is the What's Next original tag created by Robert G. Reader of Books. And this is all about how you choose your next book. The first prompt, is your decision for choosing your next book based on random chance, or is there a method to your madness? There's not enough random chance in my book choice. Most of my book choices are based on what my book group has decided to read and what events and themes are going on here on BookTube. I don't leave enough room, I think, in my choices for randomness or for mood reading, and that's actually something that I am going to be aspiring to. Number two, do your criteria for choosing fiction differ from how you choose nonfiction? The nonfiction that I read is usually either about some timely topic, that's in the news, something that we're talking about in terms of politics, for instance, or just things that are going on in the world. Or I tend to read nonfiction related to the fiction that I'm reading. I've been reading a lot of literary biographies of late, and they seem to complement what I'm reading in terms of fiction or poetry. So yeah, I guess the criteria is different. That's how I choose what nonfiction I'm going to be reading, whereas my fiction tends to be ruled more by what my book group is doing and what the various events on BookTube are, sort of putting on my radar. Number three, do other people influence your next choice? Yes, absolutely. My BookTube friends influence my next choice. My book group obviously influences my next choice. I am easily, I don't want to say I'm easily influenced, but I'm easily pulled into a lot of events, and sometimes much more than I can realistically handle. Number four, aside from other people, what other influences might impact your choice? Well, the calendar certainly impacts my choice. There are certain themes, that go with certain times of year or certain months, and there is certainly an abundance of reading event opportunities to choose from, and those tend to influence me a great deal. And then Bob's fifth prompt is just to tag friends, so I'm going to do that at the end after I've done the second tag as well. And And again, if you've done Candy's tag, but you haven't done Bob's, you might consider doing Bob's and vice versa. So now Candy at the Great Literary Rabbit Hole created the original tag, Are TBRs Fun or Not? And again, I was tagged by Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics. Candy says in her video, if you want to take part in this conversation, you can use the hashtag TBR Fun or Not and tag me so I know you did a video. If you wanted to use prompts around this conversation, here are a few to consider. Number 1, how many books are currently or normally on your TBR? I don't actually call my list a TBR. I have tended toward the pile of possibilities naming. I think of it as a monthly pile of possibilities. I don't. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to read everything that month, but I don't really extend things on indefinitely. So I would say there could be anywhere from 8 to 12 books on the monthly pile of possibilities. And that's not a realistic number of books for me to read in a month, but that tends to be what I present at the beginning of each month, that these are the events I'm participating in, these are the things I'm considering reading. So I'm going to say 8 to 12. Number 2, how do you choose TBR books, and have you ever gamified your TBR, that is prompt jars or TBR games? I guess most of my pile of possibilities, as I've said, comes from the various events that are going on that I'm thinking of participating in. And then there's always my real life in-person book group. And that's basically how I make the pile of possibilities each month. I don't think I have ever gamified my pile of possibilities. I don't have a TBR. I don't have any games or prompt jars or tote bags or anything like that. Maybe I should try something like that. I haven't done anything like that. Number 3, do you have reading areas of focus to choose books for? If yes, how many? I figured in thinking about how I usually read, I think I have 5 general areas of focus. I have poetry, I have contemporary fiction, I have classics, I have science fiction, and nonfiction. I would say those are the 5 areas that I tend to choose from. Number 4, does a TBR help you focus? Yes and no. It certainly gives me some sense of direction, for each month and each week and even each day. I kind of know what I'm going to be focused on. But sometimes that can be paralyzing too. So, that much focus isn't always a good thing. Number 5, do you suffer from the book noise of a TBR? I'm going to say yes. I think I have too much on my pile of possibilities every month. I think that sometimes it's delightful and fun to think about, and it can also be unnecessarily stressful, and who needs that? So yes, I think I suffer from book noise. I'm not sure what that question means, but that's how I'm answering it. Number 6, do you give your TBR a time limit, and does a TBR make you stress about reading quick enough? I don't put a time limit on it. Well, I guess I do. I mean, if I'm thinking about these are the things I'm going to read this month, I guess that is a time limit. If I don't get to all of those things, I don't just move them to the next month. I kind of put them aside and figure I'll get to it someday. So, I don't really worry about not reading quickly enough. I do read pretty quickly, and I'm always reading. So, no, I don't feel that kind of pressure. I feel, I do feel stress, but it's because I'm trying to participate in so many things, and it's not really possible to do that in a meaningful way. So that's where the stress comes from for me. Number 7, do you have rebellion syndrome, not wanting to read a book because you put it on your TBR or pile of possibilities and now you feel you have to read it? No, no, I don't have that experience, rebellion syndrome. No. Number 8, do you keep books on your TBR until they are read or swap the TBR around regularly? I guess I swap it around regularly because I create a new pile of possibilities every month. Some things do carry over, but I'm also in a lot of things that I'm reading over a couple of months. So, but no, I don't just hold on to things indefinitely. I'll put it back on a shelf and say, I'll come to this another time. Number 9, have you ever killed a book by having it on your TBR too long? No. Number 10, do you have a tick list for your TBR to tick off books as you read them? No. No. I mean, I keep a record of what I read. I keep a journal. I keep a reading journal, but I don't think that's the same thing as a tick list. Number 11, what one change do you think would help your TBR be more fun? I just think, as I've said many times and have not yet done it, I need to leave more room for choice, more room for reading just for joy. I keep saying it and I haven't really done it. I need to be much more judicious about what I sign up for. I have a problem that is not just because I've only been here for a little over a year. In the beginning, that was definitely the problem. I was new to this and everything was so exciting and I was like a kid in a candy shop and I wanted to sign up for everything. But, 15 months later, I'm still doing that. And I think it's just my enthusiasm. I want to do everything. And I mean, sometimes I want to do something because a friend of mine is doing the event and I want to be supportive. Sometimes it's because I really do want to support a particular theme or topic. But I definitely overcommit, and I need to be more judicious about that. I need to step back, breathe, think about it before I say yes and commit. Because, then if I commit to something that I can't do, then I have a whole other set of feelings about, feeling bad that I'm letting somebody down or, disappointing somebody. And, that's an age-old characteristic that's hard to break. And then number 12, final conclusion, are TBRs fun or not? I think they can be fun. I think I need to work at making them more fun and maybe less stressful so that I don't find myself making them and then having to pull back and then feeling a little sad about that. So can be fun, but they aren't always. And I don't like the term TBR. I didn't know what that meant when I joined BookTube. I'd never heard that before. To be read. That sounds like an assignment, doesn't it? I like pile of possibilities much better, and I need to be a little more flexible and more open about my pile of possibilities all the time. each month and throughout the month. And I need to leave some wiggle room for just reading because the Spirit moves me, just reading for joy. Okay, so if you're watching this and you would like to do this tag, please consider either one of these tags. Please consider yourself tagged, and as I usually do, I'm going to name some people in the notes below. So, as always, I thank you for watching. I hope that you're doing well. I'll speak with you again soon. Take care.